Hey guys, what's going on? So I actually wanted to talk to you guys today about what I actually carry daily versus normally what I would carry in what a camera bag or a tech bag, something like that. I really don't carry much. I feel like I'm very minimalist when I walk around because I don't really want to feel weighted down. If I need it, I'll carry it. If I don't, I'll leave it at home because it's just not really needed, obviously. There's only really a few things that I'm really going to talk about that I really feel like I need to have on a daily basis because they add some type of usage, or they're just I don't know, they're just fitting to my style or what I would need for the day. Obviously there's a few things up here that everybody does carry, so that's not going to be too shocking, but I think you guys will find it a little interesting, the brand or the style of said item that I carry around. Not to take all day, but getting into it, the first thing that I typically carry would be my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Basically, I had an 11 Pro Max, I had a 10s, I've had a 10. I've been on iOS for the past few years now. I used to be a really big Android guy, like all throughout middle school and high school. I loved Android. Would never touch an iPhone. My main reason being was because I didn't necessarily like how the iPhone was designed. I felt like it was just boring compared to what all the other Android competitors were doing at the moment. So I would really just stick to Android. But when the iPhone 10 came out, I decided to just finally jump the gun. I switched, and I haven't really looked back yet. I really like the design of the iPhones. They're nice, they're heavy, they have great cameras, they're easy to use. I really do like the stainless steel band around the frame. That is a really nice touch on the iPhones, especially the Pro models if you're going with those. I love my iPhone. Not that I really ever really take phone calls, but if I need to, it's there. But for on the go listening to music or texting or whatever, this is a really nice phone. The 12 Pro Max might be a little too big for most people, but I really do have gigantic hands, so it really does fit my hand quite nicely. So I was on the fence before picking it up officially between the regular 12 Pro and then the 12 Pro Max, but eventually I just knew I couldn't do the smaller one, so I went 12 Pro Max. So there's that. The second item that I typically carry is my AirPod Pros. Now, I've talked about these many times in the past before, but I really do like Apple's AirPod Pros. They are really comfortable to use. They stay in my ear pretty well as long as I have a mask on. They literally mute out everything when it comes to any type of outside noise, whether it's trucks, kids, airplanes, whatever it is. That little tone you hear in your ear when you turn the noise cancellation on, biggest thing. I love it. It's such a shocker to me every time, and I've been using these for almost a year now. I think I brought them like last July, so we're getting to almost a year with these, but 110%, I really do love these AirPod Pros, and if you're on the fence about picking up a pair, I would highly recommend that you do, especially if you're already in the Apple ecosystem and you just need a good pair of convenient wireless headphones. Not to say that you can't get a better pair specifically for the money, but if you just want it to work every single time and you're not an audiophile, you like the way, AirPod sound, etc. I would definitely recommend that you pick up a pair of AirPod Pros because in my experience, I don't really have any complaints about them. Now, the second thing, or the third thing technically, that I carry is an Apple Watch Series 6. I've wanted an Apple Watch for years, and I think when I was on the Android side of things, I couldn't necessarily use one. They're very hard to pair to Androids, and if you can, you still won't get a lot of your notifications, etc. So I never really bothered picking one up. I did one time. I got a Series 2 or a Series 3, and it was pretty much useless. I couldn't set it up without the iPhone, so it ended up going back to the Apple Store. But as soon as I switched over, I started to get into these. So for the past 2 years, I've worn one. I skipped over the Apple Watch Series 4, and when the 5 came out, I went and brought one. I wore that for a while. The 6 came out, and I know a lot of people are like, why would you upgrade from the 5 to the 6? There's really not that much different, but in my position in a field that you know, reviews and things like that, you should probably have the most updated thing. I decided to go ahead and upgrade anyway. Plus, the blood oxygen sensor seemed very appealing to me as someone that has asthma. I think it's kind of comforting that I'm able to check and see what my blood oxygen level is, see if I'm getting enough oxygen, etc., etc. So I did pick it up. I did get the 44 millimeter aluminum band this time. Mainly because last year with the Series 5, I got the same thing, the 44 millimeter cellular model, and this year I went with the GPS, mainly because, yeah, having the cellular Apple Watch was really cool and everything, but I found that I was paying for something that I rarely ever use, because when did I ever really leave the house without my phone? Now, a few times, for instance, that I would leave to go walk my dog or something like that, it was cool. But most of the time I would have my iPhone in my pocket, or it was already in my hand, so it was kind of just a waste specifically for me. So I found that going with the GPS model, I'm pretty happy about it. There's a few instances where I do wish I had the that cellular model that I just finished talking about, but I am really happy with it. It's held up pretty well so far. There's a few scratches on the display. I'm not too sure where they came from, but yeah, there's that. As far as the bands, I'm kind of doing like a mixed two-tone, I don't know what you want to call this, but I took a white band and then I mixed it with a black one, and I think it looks really good. I don't really have any complaints. I have so many bands, I just switch them out whenever I really get tired of looking at the same one. But yeah, so there's that. There's on to the next thing. I do carry a knife. I don't know what else to really say about this. You never know when you need a knife, not to hurt anybody, but you ever go to a store and you need to open something and you're struggling and you don't have any, now you're asking the cashier if they have scissors, etc., etc. So this is a nice little small knife. It's nice and matte black. I like matte black things. It's super sharp. I was literally able to cut right through a box like it's nothing, and it's nice and compact and small and lightweight. So it's a really nice knife. It has a nice grippy texture on the side here and everything. So yeah, that's my knife. I carry it. Yeah, that's that. My wallet of choice, and I don't really carry wallets anymore, so my main problem with wallets is they got too bulky. Eventually you got used to just storing a bunch of cards in it, and then it wouldn't fold correctly. It started to look really worn, etc., etc. And for me, I went through my carrying cash phase when I really started to work and I started to make my own income and everything like that. I thought it was cool to have my wallet just filled with like whatever I made that week. Dumb, immature crap, but yeah, so now I don't really carry cash that often. I might have a $5 bill or something like that here and there, but it's mostly cards. So this is a card holder by Guess. It's really nice. It has this nice pattern on the front here. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but it has this nice pattern on the front. It holds about 4 cards, 2 up front and then 2 on the inside here, and then it has a little pouch for your ID there, and it has like a nice little cash insert here. It has like a nice red accent on the inside, so I really do like this card holder. Like I said, I don't really carry too many cards in general, just my credit card, my debit card, my T-Pass, and my creator's card, which I did talk about in the last video. I'll link that here. Basically, it's just by a company called Dot, and if anybody wonders what you're doing when you're out shooting, etc., etc., you can actually just either show them the QR code on the back of the card, or you can actually just tap this right on the back of their phone, as long as their phone has NFC. It's a really cool way to share all your social media links and to show people really what you're doing. So yeah, that's my wallet. That's all there really is to that. And the last thing that I really carry, and it really depends on the weather, but like typically like it's starting to be more sunny out and the sun can get really, really bright, especially if you're behind the wheel or you're driving or anything like that. No one wants to be blinded. So I'm not the type of person to spend a lot of money on sunglasses. I think they all do the exact same thing. They're all very similar styles, and it's really just the name. Not to say that I won't ever really buy a nice pair, like a pair of Ray-Bans I've been looking at for the past 4 years, but who knows when I'll actually decide to, pull the trigger on those. This is actually just a $12 pair from, I believe, a Zumi store. They say happy hour on the side, but they're matte black. They do a really good job of keeping sunlight out of my eyes. They are broken on the inside, but they're pretty held together so far, so I'm not going to replace them until they really kind of fall apart, specifically because, like I said, it's not always sunny, so I don't find myself really needing to use them a lot, but it is something that I would typically carry with me if I lived somewhere where it was always sunny. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. That's what I carry on the everyday basis. There's nothing too exciting about it necessarily, but yeah, I guess I figured I would just show you guys exactly what I carried, and if you have any questions about anything down below, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe, as that does help the channel out a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.